Welcome to Vital Signs Consulting. I am Gerard Stoop and I will be your coach for today. It's always such a pleasure to welcome our Worldwide Business Club members where we want to learn and practice business. It's always about different layers and we just want to put on top and learn and improve and innovate. This is what the Worldwide Business Club is all about. So welcome to all the members. In the last few weeks we've talked about the marketing and marketing strategies and the 7 Ps and what questions to ask. We talked about how to change, improve, create, and move to make things better. As we said, that marketing is the engine of your business and branding is the fuel. So today I want to talk a little bit about the fuel. I want to talk about the branding. And remember that the success is built on 4 pillars. It's a relationship, branding, marketing, and sales. So the branding and the marketing is what we've discussed over the last 3 weeks. J.T. Fox said that if you are not branded, your business will die or remain on life support. I think what a lot of people don't realize is that when we talk about branding, we talk about your brand as a person and your brand as a business. And the two go hand in hand. We cannot only have one. People always comment to say, but if I brand, people think I'm going to brag about my business. It's about labeling me as arrogant, and that's not the case. There's a way to brand yourself, there's a way to act, and this is what we want to talk about. I think one of the best branded people on the planet is Donald Trump. And I think another person as well is Richard Branson. If we look at Donald Trump, let's take away the politics of it. But everybody, if you think Donald Trump, you think of high quality buildings. You think of very good golf courses. He's got ties. He's in so many businesses and everything is about quality. If we think about Richard Branson, we're thinking about he's serving the public. He's having banks, telephones, airlines, fitness. He's all about the people and he's well branded. Even though Virgin is a very well-known brand, so is Richard Branson. Same with Donald Trump. The Donald Trump Towers, very well branded. And that is where you need to be in your business. Business brand, personal brand. Remember that people buy from people. And if you have a very good brand, people will come to you. And there's a formula, and I want to give you the formula, is when we talk to people, we brand ourselves. When we are branded, we get credibility. When we get credibility, we gain power. Power leads into influence. Influence leads into access, and that leads into authority. What does this mean? So when you are branded, you have credibility. When you have credibility, gives you the power to influence and get access to opportunities and to people to become the authority. It's not only to be branded. There's a whole formula that opens up for you. It is like when you get a 1 key and you open a door and you do something, you get a 2nd key for the 2nd door. Branding is so important. With social media, it is easy to brand, but it can also take everything away in 5 seconds. It can take 5-6 years to build your brand, and it can take 5 seconds to destroy your brand. An example is, for example, Bill Cosby. Like that, his reputation is gone. So when you get branded, you have to look after your brand. You have to protect your brand at all cost. People say, yeah, but branding is such an expensive exercise. If you want to really get branded, you need to be taking photos with celebrities, get some professional people to endorse your products, and that all costs money. Yes, but when we start off in business, we can do it much more simpler. The one we can use is conceptual branding, is where we go. You can go into different industries and go and look for opportunities, go and look for ideas. Like we said before, is that these companies like Starbucks, Pepsi, Coke, Nike, They all spend millions on their branding. And if you can go and see what you can use from different companies and make it your own, you can build a very strong brand for you. One exercise I always give my clients is to say, buy free magazines. And if it's industry magazines, it's also good. And get free ideas that you can implement into your marketing or your branding immediately. And all of them normally come with 5 or 6. So it don't have to be an expensive exercise. Branding is so important. That's the fuel for your engine, for your business. But you always have to work on your branding, and you always have to protect your branding. When you go networking, for example, you are a brand. And how you introduce yourself to a group will determine if you make an impression or not. So you need to have your 29-second pitch where you can make a first impression when you go and market. Your branding needs to have a wow factor. You will see a lot of people, they have, for example, when they go out, they will have a blue jacket or jeans, and they always look the same. It's because that is the brand that they want. Some people will only wear, for example, Levi jeans, because that's the brand that they want to be perceived with. So you need to have that wow factor. If you go to Trump Towers, you will have a wow factor. If you go to his penthouse suite, I'm sure you will have a wow factor. And that is what the brand is about. A brand is also supposed to evoke emotion. Like Nike, they don't sell shoes, they sell the motivation. Look at Apple. People sleep outside their stores to be the first one to buy an Apple phone. That's because of their branding. It's a very strong branding. I remember when Virgin Airlines came out, they spoke about our guests, where Qantas spoke about PAX, P-A-X, so you a PAX. Which one sounds better? Would you like to be a guest or a PAX? It's all about the branding and how they build a brand to say that people will more focus on our brand than, for example, on Qantas. Really important, like in business, you always have to keep on innovating. You need to see how you can make your brand better, how you can improve your brand. And one way of doing it is by mind feeding. Listen to podcasts of very successful people. You can learn from them. I do not listen to the car radio anymore. If I go from A to B, I listen to a podcast. And I listen to different people to mind feed to see how I can improve my brand. I also talk to a lot of successful people and ask for feedback. What do you think I can do better? And it's not that I feel criticized, I see it as how I can do better. Do not be afraid to ask people what they think about your brand. If you, for example, want to open a coffee shop, go and see Starbucks. See how they do their business. Look at their business model. Go to McDonald's Coffee and see what they do good. How can they do it better? Do it better in your business. Branding is a non-stop business. You have to keep on working at it all the time. So how's your brand today? What can you do today to change your brand? One thing is to get testimonials. Ask people if they can just do a quick 5-second, 20-second, 2-minute video on your phone. A video testimonial got so much power, because what happens is when you talk about yourself, you can feel, well, maybe I'm bragging, where if somebody else is doing it, they validate you. In your branding, you must be the person that solves problems. You need to be the person they can go to find a solution. You need to be the connector. Your brand is when somebody sees you, they know to say, that is the problem solver. Something that can help is celebrity photos, or when you have sports photos, sports personalities. But that can cost money. In small business, we don't always have that luxury of money. I think it's important that your brand must be strong, that people recognize your brand. They must insist on buying you as a brand. They must prefer you to another brand. And they must always be aware of your brand. Guys, branding is you cannot have branding without marketing. You can't have marketing without relationship. You can't have relationship without sales. All of them goes hand in hand, and you have to work on all 4 of these pillars all the time. I'm sure you feel very overwhelmed at the moment. And that's why I thought it's a good idea that Kathleen will do a book review on The One Thing. As before, hit the pause button. Let's just stop and see what is next. So we're going to say goodbye to our YouTube listeners and to all our club members. Stay tuned for our bonus segment with Kathleen.